And CEO of Geltrude Business Technology Solutions, Michael Geltrude. Michael, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is now saying that if Canada and Mexico make stronger efforts to curb fentanyl flowing across the border, we could see Trump roll back on some tariffs as early as today. Following the announcement, market futures have been up. Michael, I mean, the fear-mongering that is going on with these tariffs is completely out of control. Canada has already had extreme tariffs on the U.S. for years. And the second Trump is strong and says, we'll put a couple tariffs on you guys, all of a sudden, now we're in a trade war.
Yeah, I think tariffs here are always going to equal a little bit of turbulence. Investors don't really like the uncertainty of what's going on in the market. And let's talk about the short term and the long term. In the short term, we're going to see prices rise because when you add a tax to anything coming in from another country, it's going to increase the price. But the Trump administration wants to change consumer buying habits. They want them to buy more American products, which is a good thing to keep money in the United States. And another fact I'd like to point out here is about 30% of the GDP of both Canada and Mexico are related to exports that come into the United States. But on the other side, only about 2% of American GDP is related to exports that go to those two countries. So Trump has a lot of leverage here, and he's going to use all of it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because in 2023, 19% of Canada's GDP was because of U.S. exports to the United States. And then in Mexico, a whopping 37% of their GDP. So the major loser of any kind of quote-unquote trade war would be those two countries, not the United States, whose GDP combined to both of those two countries is under 2%. Let's move on a little bit, though. So BlackRock actually striking a deal which would put two major ports of the Panama Canal under United States control. So the firm is striking the nearly $23 billion deal with Hong Kong-based firm CK Hutchinson after Trump said China could use the ports to block U.S. trade. The deal would also give the firm control over dozens of ports all over the world. Michael, what does this deal mean for securing our overseas trading?
Well, BlackRock is really in the business of making money here. They wouldn't be investing in the Panama Canal if they didn't think there was a profit for them on the other side. But it does look good optically for both parties. For the Trump administration, they have a U.S. company being put in place over a Chinese company that was previously there operating a couple of the ports. And then on the other side, like I said, BlackRock will be making probably a substantial amount of money out of this, so it's good for both parties. But another point I'd like to bring up here is what Secretary of State Rubio said a couple days ago, and I'm paraphrasing here. But it's crazy that the United States ships have to pay to use the ports when we're the ones that would be expected to defend the port if there were any conflict. That really needs to change.
Yeah, that is such a fantastic point you brought in there. Starbucks recruiting Nordstrom CFO Kathy Smith to join its team, replacing Rachel Ruggieri as the company's chief financial officer. On top of Nordstrom, Smith actually worked at Target, Textron, and Walmart International. The move is actually the latest by CEO Brian Niccol to get the company out of the slump. We've been talking about the Starbucks slump for a little while now. Michael, you know, obviously Niccol has seen some progress with the company beating Wall Street expectations last quarter. Do you think he made the right move with Smith here?
Yes, I do. I think he made the right move here. He has done everything right since his time at Chipotle. He started there back in 2018, and at the time, adjusted for all the stock splits, the shares were trading at about $6 a share. And by the time he left, they were nearly 35. He has a reputation of coming in, shaking things up, and looking towards the future and innovating. So if he's determined this is a good move, I have complete trust that he's done all his homework and he knows this is the right move.
Yeah, he's done a couple things right, for sure. Michael Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Fantastic insight.
Thank you.